everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Steph Koza and I have not posted a video in a while, so hello. Hi, still alive. It's summer, it's time for vacations and traveling and not sitting in this room all the time. But summertime also means an incredible amount of summer blockbusters, so here we are, about to review one. Mission Impossible Fallout, let's go. So this is one of those movies where you see the trailer and you're like, do we need another Mission Impossible movie? Not really. But after seeing it, I feel like I needed it. I had so much fun watching Mission Impossible Fallout. What? I feel like the first thing that needs to be addressed here is Tom Cruise. 56 years old, 6th Mission Impossible film, really action-packed, like heavy load of like stunts and practical effects and like difficult shit for a 56-year-old man to be doing. So a lot of people were like, can he still do this? Like, is this gonna be okay? Or is this gonna be like some weird, crickety old frail man trying to like embrace his younger self that he just can't find anymore? But if you told me that this man was 56 years old, I would not believe you. Just, what? He is just as incredible, if not more incredible, than he's always been in all the Mission Impossible films. I don't really like Tom Cruise. Like, nobody really likes Tom Cruise. Like, let's be real, he's kind of a prick. Sorry, Tom. But I am so impressed by him. Like, he does 99% of his own stunts. He wants them all to be practical. He doesn't like green screen, so he will literally be hanging off a helicopter doing some ridiculous stunt just because he wants to, because he cares about the movie, and he's like, this is what it has to be. Like, I have to do this. Sorry. And it's so cool, and it really shows in the movies. You can tell, like, this was a real stunt. This happened in real life, and I really do appreciate the hell out of that, because not a lot of people do that, especially in this day and age. He's badass enough at 56 years old to be hanging off helicopters and climbing rocks and skydiving. I can't even do that, and I'm 25. So Mission Impossible Fallout is directed by the same director that did the previous Mission Impossible movie. This is like a direct sequel to the events that happened there. It's like the same characters, the same villain, so they're very closely related. And this movie is also very much like pretty much what you would expect. We know the format, the formula of a Mission Impossible movie at this point. There's some exposition, it's like, okay, now we get it, and then once you get it, it's just a whirlwind of action sequences and just ridiculous. Like, there's hardly any lines in like the second and third acts. It's just ridiculous amounts of incredible action. But that's what we sign up for when we go see Mission Impossible. We know that's what we're getting into. I would describe this movie like a roller coaster. It kind of ebbs and flows. There are lots of like really high intensity moments and then really low, kind of boring exposition moments. But like the overarching plot of the movie, like the whole experience, is kind of like when you're going up a roller coaster hill, and it's like the really big hill, and you're just like slowly like working your way up, and it's just like tick, 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 tick. And you have like this anticipation building, but it's really slow, and you're just kind of looking around, and you're like, oh, I can see my car from here. And then you finally get to the top, and it's just like, and that's the rest of the movie. First act, up the hill. Rest of the movie, crazy fucking roller coaster. And it's really fun. Like, I did not expect to have that much fun in this movie. I had so much fun. Like, I have to point out, this is a 3-hour movie. This movie was 3 hours long. There was not one moment where I realized it was 3 hours long. Like, I walked out of the theater and I was like, holy shit, it's fucking 11 o'clock? How did this happen? But it was like really, it was just so fun and so exciting, and so many new things kept happening, and I was like, ooh, 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 what? And it was just very exciting. I will say the villains were not super interesting. I think some of that has to do with the fact that the villain... Why does my microphone always die? Every time, guys, every time. Hey, will Steph ever make a video without her microphone dying halfway through? We'll never know. Anyways, what was I talking about? What was I saying? Villains. I think the villain in this movie is Lane, who was established in the previous movie, so there wasn't really any like, we don't need to know much more about him, we kind of already know. But that made it a little bit boring because like, he doesn't really say much of anything throughout the entire movie. He's just sort of there. He's just kind of a problem. And it's just more about them solving this mission and solving this problem that he has created, but he's not really doing anything after he's created the problem, if that makes sense. So the real villain of this movie is just like the mission that they're trying to solve. And then there are obviously like some people who get in the way and like try and stop them from solving this mission, because you have to have a million car chases and fight scenes and all that good stuff. But I don't think any of it is like strongly motivated by anything, and that was one flaw that the movie had, where it was just kind of like face value, it's a mission, they need to solve it, save the people, run from the bad guys. Very top level average action movie stuff. But like I said, this movie does have some incredible plot twists that I never would have thought of. There were so many things that happened that I did not see coming at all, and every time they happened I was just like, oh! Like everyone in the theater just starts screaming. They're just like, what is happening? Like really well written ideas and concepts, and there's a lot of like sticky situations that they get into and you're like, I literally could not even think of a way to get out of this. Like the writing is surprisingly impressive. I think the dialogue is not very good. There are a lot of like kind of cheesy moments, but I think that's sort of part of the charm of Mission Impossible, is it's like, it's a shitty action movie that's actually not that shitty. It's like one of those blockbusters that's like a pretty good blockbuster. Like I would definitely watch it again. It was really fun. Ethan Hunt is still a really believable character, even with Tom Cruise being 56 years old. Like he really convinces you that he can do all of these things, and you just kind of love him. Like I started the movie and I was like, God, I forgot how much I hate Tom Cruise, but then I got like halfway through the movie and I was like, I love you! You're so great! You're such a good character. He's just so cool. And I mean, there are a lot of moments in this movie where you're like, that would never happen. That's just is ridiculous. Like, it's a little bit believable. Like, everything kind of, like, you could defend it with physics. It's just kind of, like, in an anomaly situation, but, like, it could happen. It's just very unlikely that all of these things happen to this guy and, like, he was okay. But that's kind of the excitement of the movie. It's kind of funny. Like, whenever something like that happened, like, everyone in my theater would just laugh. Like, you know it's not a moment in the movie where you're supposed to laugh, but it's just so ridiculous that you can't help it, and it just made it kind of more fun. Some people might consider that a flaw. I consider it a charm. I think Henry Cavill's character was a little bit... He had some good moments, but in general, not super interesting. Probably could have done without him. I mean, he was crucial to a few plot points, so I get it. I don't know, I wasn't really blown away by his presence. I think Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames really stole the show. I loved the two of them together. Rebecca Ferguson was also super badass. I just love to see a girl kicking ass just as hard as the rest of the cast. Like, it was just so invigorating to watch her work. But yeah, in general, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, way more than I thought I would. It's a 3-hour movie that doesn't feel like 3 hours. And I would say Mission Impossible Fallout is the best action movie this year so far. But that's just because we don't have John Wick yet. Zing! I'm so excited! Okay, yes, Mission Impossible Fallout. I'm gonna give it a 4. A 4 out of 5. Surprisingly good. Really just came out of left field. I wasn't even excited to see it. I was like, I have to go see Mission Impossible. But I loved it. I had so much fun. If you're a fan of Mission Impossible, you're a fan of action movies, you have to see this movie. You will love it, I guarantee it. But that's it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Steph Koza. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Click that bell icon down there so that you can get notifications every time I post a video. Check out our Patreon page and become a patron if you're interested. If you do become a patron, you'll be invited into our Patreon exclusive chat room where we can talk about movies and talk about spoilers, and we'll talk about this movie in detail, heavy depth. Very excited about that. If you did see Mission Impossible, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. I would love to talk about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, I'm Steph Koza, and I'll see you later. Bye.